Hello and welcome to another Yansplaining. My name is Stencil Artist Yan, and as always I'm joined by Peephole Circus. Hello Peephole Circus.
Hello.
Let's talk about Australia.
Oh no, you sprung there on me as well, didn't you?
Yes, I did. It's a place you don't actually believe exists, do you? You think it's the island from Lost?
Well, that was made up as well. They're all made up.
Well, it's a long way away. So in theory, is it just they've gone all the way around and come back to the other side of the UK?
That's probably what it is.
Australia is actually Barry Island.
Now you're talking. It's probably better in Barry Island. There's no spiders and snakes and all the rest of the stuff you're probably going to explain to me, aren't you? You're going to terrify me with the Aussies.
There's some interesting things in Australia, I have to say, that I found. It's got the lowest population density in the world of 2 people per square kilometre.
Why are they spread out so much?
It's because most of it's empty, so there's nothing in the middle at all. Everybody lives on the outside, really.
And they live 2 kilometres, everyone from each other?
No, if you put everybody equally spaced apart, you'd be one person every 500 metres in each direction.
Oh, that'd be cool. They could probably make a chain and do that purple monkey dishwasher thing and see what they say at the end. What's it called?
Chinese whispers.
That's the one, yeah. Don't believe in China.
What did you call it? Monkey dishwashers?
Purple monkey dishwasher. I think it's a Simpsons thing. I don't know.
I didn't know. But you were saying about the size of the country. It is actually, it says here, 32 times the size of the UK and almost the same size as the United States of America.
Not the same size as America?
Yeah.
Almost. How fat are Australians? Like if they were twice as fat, that means they'd have less room, wouldn't it? How fat can we make Australians so they'd be on par with everybody else?
Well,
I mean, they're not doing very well, are they? 1 every 500 miles or whatever. I can do better than that. Is one couple of those, next door, a few meters away. I bet there's somebody from me, like a rat.
There's definitely a cat a few meters away from you. Well, it says here that out of its population of 20, there's only 25 million people live in Australia, and at least 16 million of those are obese.
16 million. Again, they're not doing very well. Out of how many?
25 million.
What are the other 9,000 people doing? Lazy. They're lazy, aren't they?
Well, no, they're the not lazy ones.
Yeah, I know.
They're the thin ones.
Yeah, we'll just call them lazy.
Call them lazy. Well, this may go with your theory about these types of people. Australians eat 260 million meat pies every year.
Each?
No, around 12 per head, it says here.
That's only 1 a month. That's not bad. But no wonder they're not as fat. They need to do better.
These are rookie numbers. Is that what you're saying to me?
I could eat a pie a day, no problem.
Pie a day keeps... No, that's an apple a day, isn't it?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's all food. Pie. An apple pie a day. Would that keep the doctor away? I'm not entirely certain.
Doesn't keep the diabetes away, but...
That's true. You know the Police?
The band?
No, the police.
Yeah.
They were actually, the first police in Australia were actually criminals. And I mean, they were actually convicts, which were the best behaved convicts.
What's changed?
Well, looking on the internet recently, I would say nothing by what's going on over there at the minute.
Best convicts. Our best convicts are convicted and they're in prison.
Yeah, well, they sent him over there and they went, you know what? You're so good at being a criminal, we're going to make you a policeman. Is that what they meant by the best convicts?
It's no wonder they're upside down. It's upside down world, isn't it? It's like Alice in Wonderland or something. If you believe in it. If you believe in... I believe more in Alice in Wonderland than the existence of Australia.
Well, you saying about that, I have got some facts which may make you think that you're correct, that it doesn't exist.
Go on.
There is a reptile park where they milk spiders.
A reptiles park?
Reptile. Reptile park.
Either would work. Wait a minute. The spiders are not reptiles, are they? Arachnids.
They're arachnids, but for some reason it's at the reptile park. See, this is what I mean. This isn't helping with your Australia doesn't exist.
Do they dress up like reptiles? What do they do? Put little gills on them and gills. I nearly said fins. Scales on.
Well, maybe they do that after they've milked them.
Yeah. I'd be poking my tongue out like a lizard if they were milking me.
Get a little milking stool.
Wait a minute, they're milking spiders?
Yes.
Now, How do you do that with your little fingers?
Well, I think the term milked is a strange term because they're milking the venom from the spiders.
Yeah, try searching there on Pornhub. I wonder if there's footage of that on Pornhub. I'd probably have a look, just a little look.
Well, there you go. It's milking spiders. That's probably a slang for something.
8-legged furball gets milked.
Yeah, if they can tell the females from the males, obviously that's the other side of this milking thing.
But the milkers or the spiders?
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
It'd make a difference to me whatever was to get milked by. If I was a spider, I know they've got a right to be picky.
Well, they've sent him to the reptile park instead of the arachnid park to begin with.
Well, they're Australian, mind you, aren't they?
Well, yes. Maybe they don't have a arachnid.
Reptiles.
Reptiles. Arachnid.
If a spider got a boner, would he be immobile for a little while? Because it'd lift him up like a car jack.
Just spin round, slowly rotate.
That's Australians probably invented the fucking fidget spinner. It was probably a spider that did it.
And interestingly, they would rotate the other way round because it's southern hemisphere.
Yeah, you'd have to milk them the other way as well, wouldn't you?
What, from the back?
Yeah. No, let's move on.
Australia is the only country in the world where there are more species of venomous snakes than there are non-venomous snakes. The inland taipan, the most venomous snake.
Is that the Chinese snake? What's he called?
The inland taipan. Taipan.
Chinese. Why is there a Chinese snake in Chinese now? In Australia?
I'm assuming a Chinese person got bitten by it first and they went, well, we'll name the snake after him.
Something hurt.
Yeah, but I love what they said. It can kill. This is very strange choices of what it said. So the inland taipan is the most venomous snake. It can kill with one bite 100 fully grown men or 2.5 million mice.
I'd go for all the mice. There's a lot more souls you can reap, isn't it?
It's quite exact. 2.5 million.
In one bite. How big a snake's mouth? I mean, how many men would it eat?
It doesn't eat. It's venomous. So the venom in one bite is enough to kill 100 fully grown men or 2.5 million mice.
So they're killing people and not eating them.
Well, yeah. Well, no. It's not. I think it's saying how venomous its venom is.
Which would fill you up more? How many men?
100 fully grown men or 2.5 million mice.
Which would you rather eat?
If they were field mice,
yeah,
and they've been like eating barley and wheat out in the fields, I would probably go for the mice.
I'd go for the hundreds of fat Australians.
I thought you would.
It'd be delicious. In fact, I wonder if I can order one.
Just belly meat.
The Chinese snake probably sells them down the road.
I just don't know why it's 2.5 million mice. Did they find that out?
Well, it's the equivalent, isn't it? How many souls of one human soul equals how many mice souls? We're that much better than mice.
250,000.
I could look at an army of mice and just say I'm better than you.
So 25,000. 25,000 mice is the equivalent to one human.
Well, that's not bad. I'd take them out by stamping on them anyway.
Well, it'd be like river dance, 25,000.
Squeaky dance.
We've spoken about camels before in Australia.
Oh, not again.
They export. We spoke about that. There was a culling of the wild camels because they're not indigenous, and population explosion over there.
Yeah.
They export camels to Saudi Arabia.
Wait a minute, that's not right. See, like I said, that place is made up. They're just making this stuff up. I don't believe it.
Isn't that where camels were invented in the first place?
Yeah, they invented them there, yeah. I remember the day and they invented them too. What a day.
What a day. You remember. You were there on a sand dune.
I don't even know what to say to that. Why are they making a profit then when they sell them back?
I assume so. They send them there for meat. They send them to the Arabs for meat.
I'd like to try camel. Whoa. I'd go for the toes first.
I think we've had this conversation before, and you were saying about the hump.
Yeah, it's full of gloopy milk. Remember, that goes down in one chunk.
Oh, yeah, the brown milk, isn't it? It doesn't curdle ever.
No, delicious brown gloopy milk.
Washed down with a camel toe. Talking about other animals in Australia, another animal which is not indigenous are sheep.
Now we're talking.
There is 104 million sheep in Australia.
Are they fat?
Well, the interesting thing about that, so there's 104 million sheep, but there's only 17 million kangaroos.
Have they tried crossbreeding?
Well,
Because sheep like to jump. I've seen them just before I go to sleep.
You don't know how many there are. You get to about 5 and then you drift off.
I know. I can never capture bastards. But yeah, there they are, little cute little fellas. And fellas, ladies, I mean. And there they are jumping over that little fence. You've seen them, haven't you?
Yeah. I haven't been able to count 104 million of them though. You normally get to about 5 and then just like, well, there must be more.
They live in Australia though. The sun doesn't go down there, does it? Isn't that how it works?
It goes sideways.
Yeah.
Comes off the side and comes back round again.
Falls off and a new one starts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the kangaroos, there's in 2011, there was actually 34 million kangaroos. In 2020, it's estimated there's only 17 now.
Oh, they're not doing well then.
They've done a massive. Either they've all been killed, possibly by the spiders and the snakes and the sheep.
Only 17 of them left, though. That's not very good, is it?
Well, 17 million.
Oh, you never said million.
Well, I assumed that you would have realised I meant 17 million from 34 million.
Well, I thought something bad had happened. There could have been a cull.
Somebody launched a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, and they're like in a protected thing now. Like you're telling more stories back in the days where spiders fought the camels.
It's the kangaroos versus the sheep versus the spiders versus the inland taipan. Maybe it's the inland taipan, but they worked out how many kangaroos.
It sounds like a Chinese mafia in Australia, doesn't it? In the outbacks.
Yeah. Talking about animals again, there's a lot of things here. The longest fence in the world is in Australia. It's called the dingo fence. Another animal, which may or may not exist. It is 5,500 kilometres or 3,430 miles long, this fence. That's humongous. That's the length of the UK. That's longer than the UK.
We should get one of those then and make it just a little bit bigger.
So it goes into the sea?
Yeah, all the way to Australia. I like to think they finished making it and they didn't know what to call it. So he got his spanner. When he's finished winding in the last nut, taps the wire and goes ding, dingo's fence.
That might be it. Worth it. You're getting there with it. I think it was worth it.
Charlie'd be proud of that one.
She would be. You had the build up on that. This one, I think you'll like.
I didn't like the others. They were awful.
I'll tell you a good one. You'll like this one. Australia has more snow in winter than Switzerland.
No. So there's another reason not to believe any of this. It's all nonsense. More snow. Where? I've never seen snow in Australia. I've never seen Australia, but yeah.
It's not known for snow. I have to say.
In the snow, I'd love to be a kangaroo because you're basically a tauntaun, aren't you?
Pretty much. That's what they were designed on, I'm assuming.
Or the other way around.
The kangaroos were designed on tauntauns?
Yeah.
Well, if we're saying that Australia's theme park made up like Westworld.
Yeah, I think it is.
It is effectively Westworld, and everything's gone haywire and trying to kill you constantly in Australia.
Even the sun.
Yes, because the ozone layer's gone, isn't it? There is a town in Australia called 1770. That's the whole name, 1770.
Is that how they name their towns, numbers?
No, it's just this one place. They just didn't bother to give it a name.
Is that when they built it?
I'm assuming so. And they just never bothered to name the place.
I would have called it 1771 the next year.
Yes.
And so forth.
Yeah, you've got to change all the signs.
Well, there's only one in it.
Well, the one saying, welcome to 1770, population 17.
You think you've gone back in time as well when you cross that, you'd be on the road driving, welcome to 1770, push, back in time.
A horse and cart.
Yeah, you'd legitimately go back in time, you'd be like, holy fuck, everything would be exactly the same.
You're like, wow, the Australians were really advanced back in the day.
They had sticks and everything.
Sticks? They had kangaroos and sheep.
Look, the milking spiders even.
They're milking spiders. In Victoria, in Australia, only a licensed electrician can change a light bulb.
Why?
Probably to do with the spiders or the snakes snakes.
I bet that Australians are so stupid that when they go to screw the light bulb in, you have to be an electrician to realise that you're screwing it in the wrong way. And what happens is they just leave go and it smashes on the floor. And they've had lots of injuries like that.
Oh, I see what you mean. They're turning it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because they haven't got southern hemisphere light bulbs, so counterclockwise.
They have special schools as well. They have to teach us people. It takes them a while to get it, but you get it eventually. You get a qualified electrician, and so not all of them almost are qualified. I say qualified.
Well, it does actually say licensed electrician, so it looks like you do have to do something to get this license.
Yeah, screwing a bulb, like I said.
Not everybody can do that.
In Australia.
It says this here. I think you're going to poo-poo this. The last time a spider killed somebody in Australia was in 1981.
Bullshit.
You're not keen on that one, are you?
No. What about the people they didn't find in the outback, dead? Like, oh shit, I just died, I better report it. Because nobody else is around, apart from a fucking spider and a camel. Get a camel, can't believe it. Ridiculous. Nonsense. Yeah, bullshit.
You're not going for that one, are you?
No, not having it.
Okay. Australia has more than 10,000 beaches.
The whole place is a beach. The surrounding area is like where it connects to the sea is a beach, isn't it?
Yes, and it's an island, so it's a rough circle. So surely that should be Australia has one beach.
Yes, I agree. There we go.
But it does say if you decided to visit a new beach every day, it would take 27 years of your life.
That's not worth it, is it? I'd rather milk a spider.
Well, there's other things. There's milking spiders. There's investigating the kangaroo genocide. What happened in the last 10 years?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, learning to change a light bulb in Victoria. There's things to do there already. They're not just going to different beaches all the time.
Yeah, and screwing a light bulb is an 8-month course.
You could go to a lot of beaches in that time.
You could, yeah.
And my final fault, to quote Jerry Springer, kangaroos and emus cannot walk backwards.
I'd spend all my time trying to taunting him. I'd be doing the moonwalk around him in circles.
Your job would be to train kangaroos and emus to walk backwards.
Why can't they walk backwards? Do they have, wait a minute, kangaroo, but did you say kangaroos and emus?
Yeah.
If they came to our country, they'd be upside down, so they would be walking backwards then, wouldn't they?
No, well, it's relative. Their perspective, they would be walking forwards. I think kangaroos can't do it because they have a tail and the tail's on the ground.
They just spin over, would they?
Yeah, just fall backwards.
It's like they've got a built-in door stop going back, or a bike lock thing, you know, them things that stop them going backwards.
When the car's handbrake doesn't work, you have to put that block of wood underneath the wheel to stop it rolling backwards.
Yeah, that's it. What if they're in like a really narrow car, you know, they're in a library and they're trying to get a book and they just walk past it. They'd have to go all the way around again.
Yes. Yeah, why you would have a kangaroo or an emu in a library looking for a book, but I'll go with it.
I'll be looking up how to change a bulb.
So, have any of these facts changed your mind regarding Australia existing?
I know, it's made it even more ridiculous, hasn't it?
There's some quite wild claims there.
I think this is going to be my argument. If anyone doubts me, I'll be like, well, listen to this.
And these facts are from the Australian Tourist Board.
They're not, are they?
Yes.
The Westworld brochure.
Yeah, Australia, the world's Westworld. So it is Westworld and everything's malfunctioned, really. And that's all I've got for you. Thank you very much, Peephole Circus. Anything else to add?
Good night.
Good night. Please like, subscribe and ring the bell.